It seems there's quite a few people settled in today, so that's kind of exciting. Yeah. So yeah, welcome everybody. Feel free to write in the chat, get familiar with yourself. It's always nice when something is going on in sort of the chat, and that keeps scrolling up and down. I will not be able to watch it all the time, but at least you can interact between each other. So sort of the idea with today's live stream, this is the second attempt. We tried one, or I tried one last week where I had Sean Ross join me as a guest. So today we are doing a little bit of a different format where I'm going to introduce the project Drone Like a Pro that I've been working on for a couple of weeks. And hopefully I will get the message across what it is that I am trying to achieve. So first of all, let's just check, is the audio okay? Can you just tell me if the audio is okay in the chat? Yeah, where would you else tell me? So I can see a lot of familiar faces. It's really, really nice. It's like the double amount of people than like since when we did the last one. So that's super exciting. Can you just, okay, audio is good. So yeah, all right. So then I think we kind of gonna kick this off, and I'm gonna see if I can figure out how I'm gonna do this, because I prepared a little presentation for you, and hopefully I will not kill you by PowerPoint by doing this. So I'll try to keep it short, and also that I can talk in between. So, and also we got to look at some of the questions at some point, and of course, questions triggered by a super chat will get top priority. Just saying. Some of you might know that I'm going into a maybe not a difficult situation, but I'm going into a switch where I'm going to change focus and spend a lot more time on YouTube than I've been doing in the past. And so any contributions or any support from your side is really, really appreciated. All right, so let's see what we can do here. We can start by sharing the screen here. So let's see. So let me just do this. Just give me a second here. I just need to figure out how to do this. No. Okay. Maybe this will work. Yeah, I think that will work. All right. I'm there shortly. Bear over with me. So, all right. So, so if I share this, and hopefully you can see me next to it. So can you see the presentation as it is right now and hear me loud and clear? Just one of you confirm in the chat. Just waiting for one of you to confirm that you can still hear me. All right, good, goody. So, let's put this one over here. Make it a little bit easier for me. So, all right. So let's start with a little bit of a story, because I know a lot of you maybe know me by name at least, but maybe you don't know the background story, how this basically started for me. I was working as an engineer in a technology company back in 2011. And at that time, a guy in the QA department was hired, and he was put into the same office as me. And this guy, he was building drones like crazy. He was doing all sorts of stuff, buying electronics out of Alibaba, and building all his stuff building all his stuff by himself. He was actually doing a lot of interesting stuff like automated flights, stuff that we have come to know here in the later years. He was doing that already now. So I was bitten by the bug very, very early on. So I started to build my own stuff as well. But soon I realized that when you're doing all this DIY by yourself, you're spending a lot of time optimizing your drone instead of actually flying it, because because you wreck it a lot of times. So at some point, DJI started to ship out products, and I think it was back in 2016, I got my hands on a Phantom 3. And this was when I realized how far the technology has actually become. And this is also where we have to give cadeau to DJI, because they have really taken what was kind of a nerdy thing and make it very, very commercial and very, very easy for everyone to do. And I was stunned by the images that could be made with this. And one of the first tasks that I got was to help a demolition guy to take down a tower in the forest here, very next to here. So I didn't, I was not the guy going to take it down, but I was asked to go and film it. And I want to play this video clip for you here in a second, but there's a little story that goes before that. And that was actually that it was the military that has organized this demolition. And when I was out there, there was this military guy coming there, and he was showing his very, very nice certificate that he just got. And I was just getting into sort of the more commercial side of drone business. So I didn't have anything, and it was out in the forest. So I'm not really sure that it mattered much. But we were both preparing, and he was very proud about all his certificates and all that stuff. So he was sort of hovering or flying the drone up in the air. And when he did that, I also positioned my drone 10 minutes before the demolition. And when the demolition actually happened, I was filming, making sure to get some really, really good angles. And when everything was over, the military guy came to me and asked me if I actually had some footage from the event, because he actually forgot to press record. And the point and the moral of this story is that there's so much stuff going on when you're out filming, especially if you're working with clients. If you want to take everything to a more professional level, there's so much stuff going on out there that you need to remember. So planning, preparation, and execution, it can use some help or some guidance to make sure that you succeed with the project that you're going on. But let me just find that video just to show you what I got from that day. So, stop screen. And I just go here. Share screen. Read total demolition. Yes. Oh. I just need to make sure that it took the audio with it. Just a second. I'm with you. There's got to be an easier way to do this. So, screen, share screen, audio tab, radio tower demolition. Yeah, yips. Like this. Now let's go. So, as you saw, with demolitions, it's pretty crucial that you have everything in place. Otherwise, because you only get one chance to do it, so you better make sure that you have everything ready. So, let's jump back to the presentation. So that brings me to the next point, because why do we need a new drone course? And that's a question that, because there's so many out there, but I have been reviewing a few of them, and it's not bad what's out there. There's a lot of great material out there, but I kind of felt there's a gap that got to fill in the gap for the beginners, because they kind of start at a very high technical level, and I think it's very necessary, at least for people that have just entered into the hobby, that they get a good solid start and a good solid foundation. So the current courses, they are very technical. I want to build something that caters to all of you new pilots that have just entered into the hobby. And I want to show you how you actually use the drone. And I want to provide you with sort of the tools to be able to do that confidently. I've taken a few online courses. Not all of them are drone related, but I have taken a few more online courses, and they tend to just be playlists with videos that are pre-recorded. That's sort of the idea with the video. But they're kind of they're just like money playlists that just kept repeating, and they're not adding any actual value. I see a real advantage in creating something that will allow you to, when you sort of learn, that you can get some active feedback along the way, and you can evolve based on your current progress. So a supportive community is really key when we are talking drone education, if you want to take your skills to the next level. Physical courses is also an option. I know many of you like that, and I might even consider doing a few physical ones in Denmark. But the problem is that has a certain limitation, because the audience, at least for my channel, is international, so it's not so easy to do like physical courses. But one of the problems with these courses are they are often in the weekdays, and if you have to attend, at least it was like that when I had to take my certificate. I had to take 2 days off work to attend this course, and that's a lot. So I'm more a strong believer of that you can make the content available. You can make the content available when you have time, and focus on what's relevant, and maybe dose it in a way so you don't get everything at once. Because that's the other problem with physical courses, is they are slam packed with information that you need to digest in 2 days time. I've been out flying with a couple of you guys in real life, and one of them had actually taken a 2-day course in a flight school here nearby. And I was surprised how little he actually remembered from that course. Either they didn't teach him enough, or he couldn't remember it because there was simply too much to remember. I think it's important to space things out and digest it a little bit slower, and then thereby taking more in. So who is this course for? This is for beginner drone pilots that are lacking the basic camera knowledge, and often suffer from sort of anxiety and fear of flying in public. A lot of this with fear of a lot of the fear of flying in public is related to it, that you're maybe not 100% sure of the rules. You're maybe not 100% sure of the location. You're maybe not 100% sure of your equipment. There's a lot of factors that goes into being able to stand comfortably on your flying spot and do whatever you need to do. So this is definitely something that this course will address. Also, I've heard many comments that you don't like Facebook. And the reason you don't like that is because many of the Facebook groups, they are populated with people that is wiser than you and want to sort of bring you down if you ask a beginner question. I want to create sort of an environment where you can hang out with like-minded people, and you can discuss all the beginner stuff without being afraid that somebody would put you down. At least that I will do. I will go through a lot of effort to make sure that this is not happening. Let me just address a few of those questions here. Let me just complete this first session here. So, so as I said, creating a place where you can learn and share experiences with like-minded people, and also that you can learn in your own pace. So what you will get engaging learning content. I'm trying to make it as engaging as possible and not super, super boring. I'm also spicing it up with flight exercises because there's actually people that have bought a drone and they've kept it on the shelf for a few months because they are afraid going out flying. And so I've already launched the first flight exercise that kind of teaches you how to, what you're going to do the first time. And we are gradually, with the upcoming flight exercises, going to turn that up a notch. And as I said, in the community, you have a chance to learn from like-minded and share your experience. And you will get the flexible scheduling. So let me just grab this one here before I continue. There's a few ones. This one, that's interesting. That's a good question. Let me just take away this banner. So let's go back here. So chat, comments, this one. Okay, so will the first Drone Academy still be going? Yes, that's a fundamental part. The whole community is based around the first Drone Academy. So this will be the place where you have all the interaction between the different students and me. And there's already some stuff in there as it is right now. There's some free stuff in there. There's I just added the DaVinci Resolve editing course in there today that you can go in and check out if you want. That's free of charge. So it's and that's also a very, very interesting session with Tony Simic that joined me at some point, where we talked about his proven tactics for dealing with fear of flying drones in public. So so the first Drone Academy, that will definitely still be going. So of course, this is of course I want to sell the courses, but I'm not trying to do that on this session. I'm actually just trying to explain the project that I have ongoing. If you want to purchase it or not, that's up to you. If you don't want to listen to what it is that I'm saying, then you're free to leave. We are equally good friends anyway. So okay. So let's just see what we do here next. Okay, so we jump back to the presentation here. So as I said, it's all about learning from each other, and it's all centered around the First Drone Academy, which you can access at firstdroneacademy.com. And this is like a very, very simplified community. There's not much bells and whistles in there. The beauty about this platform is that you can actually dive into your drone learning experience without too much distractions like you have on Facebook. So I already released some stuff in this Drone Like a Pro course, and the first one is Plan and Prepare a Successful Drone Mission. And that one contains of 8 modules or 8 lessons that will go through a lot of the essential stuff that you need to be on top of to make sure that this is goes down well. And I'm using an example from a project that I had in Copenhagen. So it is a project description that is based on a real life project that was performed inside a populated area under time constraints. We only had the location where we were filming between 8 and 9 in the morning, and then we had to leave. So everything had to go down that day. So I built it around that. To be able to do that, I've built some templates that will help you. So when you plan a drone mission, you've got to make sure that you have you're on top of your equipment, you are on top of what type of shots that you need to capture and all that stuff. And I've built templates and everything for that. That's included as part of the course. Number two is once you have planned your things and you want to sort of get started, then D-Day arrives and you need to perform the actual task. There's also some stuff that you need to consider there. You can't plan for everything at home. So you need to be kind of prepared and know what to do when you arrive on location. And this is basically the same drill. So we go through all the pre-flight tasks that you need to do, how to pick a really nice takeoff and landing position, and also some reminders that you need to think of when you're airborne. Because maybe in my case with this project in Copenhagen, we only had this limited time. So I chose a drone that had a fairly long flight time because I wanted to make sure that I had enough battery for the full duration of the mission. And then, of course, I have compiled all the lessons that I've learned since 2011 flying drones. So if you avoid those, then you might not end up losing your own. I have made the flight exercise, and the whole idea with these flight exercises is that that you will get like a video introduction to the flight exercise, and then I have developed sort of an instruction that you can bring on site. So when you basically go to perform the instruction, you don't need to remember or bring the video. You will simply bring this piece of paper that will very, very thoroughly describe exactly the steps that you need to go through. And maybe some of this is quite trivial for you guys that have been flying drones for a while, but I think this will help new drone pilots a lot. Yeah, the loose. That's true. So, yeah, just a short, I'll bring this, I'll not continue with this forever. So I've just described, this is the basic flight test exercise that I have developed. There is a flight exercise where there's something gone wrong with this slide here, but at least the idea was that the flight exercise 2 is going to be flyby shots. The next one is how to do a manual point of interest. Then you need to learn to fly in the figures of 8. This is a really, really good exercise because that will train sort of your hand-eye coordination. And of course, manual tracking shot. We can't rely on all this technology or on all these automated flight modes to capture the shots. You need to be able to fly those by yourself. But this will be the full program once everything is implemented. And there's a little bit from for everyone. And the whole idea is that every sub-segment will be released as mini courses. So you can just look into whatever it is that you want to learn. So I don't want to spend time on this part, but the cinematic part, that is basically what I'm working on right now. And there's a lot of interesting stuff that can be included in that, that's for sure. But that will basically learn you all the basics about cinematography. So you want to learn, the frame rates, every sort of setting on the camera, and all the stuff that you need to know to make sure that whatever that you're doing is pretty good. But it's kind of essential that you can and you know how to fly the drone confidently first before you pickle around with all these settings to optimize your footage. So that concludes this session as it is so far, and I'm not going to say that you should buy it. That's totally up to you. So yeah, let's jump out of this mode here and let's just head to the stream here and remove this one. Yes, let's see, do we have any questions here? I'll just go up to the top here. So see, so Ulf, yes, as I mentioned, I might do something in Danish at some point. I'm talking to somebody in Denmark that maybe will allow me to do something where we can do training, hvor vi kan lave noget træning på dansk. So, a lot of people from around the world. So let's see if there's any specific questions here related to this. So, which is better, DJI 3 Pro or Air 2S? That depends. There's a lot of factors that goes into that question. And it depends on where you live. That's one of them, because if you live here in Europe, then there will be some really severe restrictions on the Air 2S because it does not have the CX certification label. So there will be not so many places where you can fly this by the end of this year. Yeah, I think it's by the end of this year. But camera-wise, there's no doubt, of course, the Air 2S is a lot better in terms of camera quality, as well as the wind stability and flight time is also better. So if you're just looking at the technical specs, there's no doubt that the Air 2S is a better drone. It's also a more expensive drone. But the Mini 3 Pro is such a nice device that you can just bring along, and you can basically fly it almost in every country without any kind of certification because it's below 250 grams. So, and Marco Eggert just confirmed that. Thank you, Marco. So let's see. Yes, that's an interesting one. Editing videos is the hard part. This is actually something that I want to expand on the channel. And as I just mentioned, there's a DaVinci Resolve course posted in the First Drone Academy that you can go check out. But I'm going to produce more of that kind of content because I know a lot of you struggle with the editing part and often leave the footage sitting on the SD card on the drone instead of using it to something useful. And I can only agree to this. The Mini 3 Pro and the Flymore Kit Plus is a terrific setup, works beautiful, and is super fun. We don't have access to the Plus option. I would wish I had, because I'm not super impressed with the standard battery that goes in the Mini 3 Pro. I have a very hard time getting above 25 minutes with that setup. So yeah, it would be nice if I had access to the Plus option here. And so, man, I crashed my drone like 9 months ago. I still have got another one, but still watch your videos. I'm really glad to hear that. So, and Marco Eggert, which is really one of my top contributors in the First Drone Academy. He's really doing a great job. And as he's saying, this is the way that you get this is you simply go in. You can see the content that's paid and the content that's free. You can see that inside the membership area. And I keep adding free stuff in there as well because it should not always be about trying to earn a nickel or two. So, what is the best drone for follow me type shots? That is also an interesting question, because when you say follow me, in the old optics, follow me was basically whenever the drone was following the remote. And this is not the same as active track. Active track is actually using the camera to track the object, so you can basically throw away the remote and the drone will still follow you. So I would say, I don't know, if you want to do like real follow me shots, you need to go back to something that has a phone strapped on the top, and you probably need a third-party app like Litchi. I think that would be able to do it, where it tracks the remote by itself. Camera tracking wise, there's no doubt that the Mavic 3 is superior when it comes to that. because it's also the drone that has the best protection. If you're zipping around and filming and doing all sorts of stuff, then you have a full 360 degrees protection of the drone. So if you want to experiment with camera tracking, active track, then the Mavic 3 series is probably the one to go for. So I don't know what this was related to, but there's definitely stuff to learn if you take my course. And I've been doing this for a long time, and there's a lot of my knowledge condensed, and actually all my knowledge is condensed into these courses. So, and this is the curse of being non-native. So that needs to be fixed. And it looks very good so far. I'm happy to hear that. And Christopher Sales, he actually knows what he's talking about, because he has been through both of the courses that have been released, and his feedback has been positive, really positive so far. So I have a Mini 2 that will doesn't matter what drone you're using. It's all general stuff that can be used. It might differ when we get to the part where we're talking cameras, because there are differences between the different drones in the way that the camera works. But in general, the course is built in a way so it addresses either drone that you might decide to use. So then there is your course suited for future FPV pilots? Not yet. I'm not an FPV pilot myself. I've been a little reluctant jumping on that train, but I do kind of think that the DJI Avata, that looks really, really good. And Sean Oss, a good friend of the channel, he keeps trying to convince me to buy one of these. And it's definitely clear to me, if I'm going to jump on that wagon, it will be kind of a Cinewhoop drone. No doubt about that. So, hey Gary, nice to see you here in as well. I find editing my videos painful. Hopefully we'll get some help on that. Yeah, that was not the original plan, but I kind of sense that this is something that we could do something about. I have an idea that I want to expand sort of the Tech Drone Media content on the YouTube channel with some editing stuff. Because I wanted to be a little bit, attract a little bit broader audience. And editing is something that we all do, especially if, we are messing around with YouTube. This is something that's pretty crucial to be able to perform that task. At least if you want some viewers around, it's pretty important that you can do that. So I will look into that, and maybe DaVinci Resolve is not the right approach. There are other softwares out there that is maybe more easy accessible and easier to learn than DaVinci Resolve, which is sort of the Rolls Royce compared with the, is along with the Final Cut and Adobe Premiere. The Corvette is waiting to get new valve covers. I purchased some really, really new cool valve covers for the Corvette because it's actually leaking in the passenger side. So I have this really, really bad smell when I'm out driving because motor oil is dripping down to the exhaust. So that needs to be fixed. But it's doing pretty well. So I think it says saving money to buy a Mini 3 Pro. That is also, I think it's the best option. It's the best budget option that's out there. Don't go for the Mini 3. Go for the Mini 3 Pro. It has all the features that you would ever want in a hobby drone. So my opinion on the DJI goggles, I don't have any strong opinions about them. I haven't tried them actually, so I don't know. So as I said, I'm not that much into FPV. I didn't go for the first generation of the goggles. I haven't tried the other ones, but I guess It doesn't get much better than this. I don't know if I can find myself comfortable, wearing those, but yeah, I would have to report on that once I've tried it. I can't really say anything so qualified about that as it is right now. So that's exactly correct. That is a general preparation that everybody needs to know, regardless of the drone that they are flying. And this is definitely one of the candidates that I've been looking into. CapCut seems to be a really, really strong company. And what's the beauty about CapCut is that it's available for phones, it's available for Mac, it's available for PC. So that will make, if I do some tutorials on that one, it will make it really appealing to a wide range of people. And I think it will help a lot if I did like a basic video tutorials. It's actually funny because it's not very difficult to learn this. Once you have learned one piece of software, I fully understand that getting the ideas with timelines and files and all that stuff is a bit complicated. But once you get your head around that, all the softwares are basically constructed the same way. But CapCut is maybe a tad easier, and now we are getting AI into play as well. That might help you to reduce the editing time on top of this. I know there's a lot of stuff that is going on with automated subtitling and all sorts of stuff that you can use AI for. So we are looking into a bright editing future, that's for sure. All right. So okay. I don't know if it's Jerry's videos or it's my videos that is referred to, but if it's mine, thank you very much. I actually have a few videos regarding that on the channel already. You can just look up SD cards. There's even a table that you can pull up to see what kind of memory card that you should use. But in general, any card that's labeled U3 or V30 should be sufficient for the drones that we are flying. I'm using the SanDisk Extreme Pro most of the time. I haven't had any of those fail on me yet. That's a really, really good option, and I think they're not so expensive. There are cheaper options, but I have a really, really good track record with the SanDisk Extreme Pro. All right. I will close off this live stream for today. And thank you, all of you. It's not been so much dialogue today. It's mostly been me talking. I hope you got something out of it. At least you got a clear idea of what it is that I'm trying to do with this course that I've been working on. And I highly encourage you to join the free drone community, the First Drone Academy. And check it out. It's a lot of fun in there. There's a lot of posts that is going on. We could use sort of some fresh blood in there, because it's always nice to hear where people are coming from, what they're flying, and what they are messing around with. So feel free to step in there and take a look and see if this is something that you like. All right. Thank you, everyone. And have a nice evening. I hope you liked this live stream. If you did, then make sure to give it a like on your way out, and see you around.